Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Nails and Creative Creations. I'm taking part in a challenge from Heidi Sonboul. She has an amazing channel and she reaches out and helps new crafters. So she's amazing. Check out her channel. So this is 3 different projects that I did, and let's get right into it. First of all, I took an old frame that I got for 25 cents probably 15 years ago. I always wanted to do something with it, but I never was quite sure what I was going to do with it. So I took the back off and I used Mod Podge, and I did the whole back of just the stars. Then I grabbed this scrapbooking paper and I traced it out and I cut it, and then I used just a glue stick and I glued the paper to that backing. Then by then the Mod Podge was dry, so I grabbed my blue paint here in just a second. I'm jumping a little ahead, and I started painting it blue. Now I ended up doing 3 coats. I wanted it really to be opaque so that foreground with the stars and the swirls would really show up. And I used my heat gun, and see how it looks. It just looks beautiful. Well, part of the silver was a little bit dinged up, so I grabbed my silver paint, my gray paint, then my silver paint, and I put it on there. Now I am gluing the backing on, gluing all around it to make sure that it adheres really good. Then I got these bells that I got at Dollar Tree, and I put them on jute. Sorry, this is a little out of frame. I'm trying some new things and I'm trying to figure out the camera. So I ended up putting 3 bells on this frame. And then I'm going to grab this white and blue gingham ribbon, and I'm going to glue that right onto there. And that is it for that project. I hope you like it. I think it's really pretty. Then I went to the Dollar Tree and I got these little lanterns. I ended up taking the little hooks off and taking the top off. Then I grabbed down into the center and I take out the tissue. It's not really tissue, it's plastic, but I really like it. It's got snowmen, and I thought it was really pretty. So I pulled those out, and I've got 2 candlesticks as well, glass ones, that I got at the thrift store for 25 cents each. Now I'm going to use decoupage on all of these because paint will stick to the decoupage better than the plastic and the candlesticks. So that's what I'm going to do. Completely cover them in decoupage, Mod Podge, not decoupage, Mod Podge. So once I get that all done, I'm going to set that aside while it dries. It doesn't take very long because I use my heat gun on it. Sometimes I'll use a hair dryer that blows cold air, but I always have a fan blowing on what I'm working on as well, so that helps. Here I am finishing up the Mod Podge on the candlesticks. Okay. All right, so once that is done and it's all dry, excuse me. Okay, now I'm painting it all black. And I only had to do 2 coats to get it completely covered. I don't worry about the bottom, but I do the whole lantern, I do the candlesticks, everything. And as you can see in the bottom of the candle holders, it's actually one of those luminary or little battery operated candles that's inside there, so it's going to light up. So I'm just getting those completely covered in the black. I go back for the second coat. Now this is a foam core. I cut it into 2 circles. I'm just sanding it to smooth out the edges, and I completely paint the top and the edges all in black. Actually, I painted both sides. Okay, now I put the plastic back in, the lid's on, and then I take those rounds and I glue them with hot glue and Mod Podge, and the candlestick, the lanterns just sit on top of those because you have to be able to get to them to turn them on. So then I got this little white and red buffalo check or gingham ribbon, and I think I got it from Dollar General. And so I'm just going to make a tiny little bow for each one of them. And I just do 2 loops, tie it in a, just normal tie like you tie your shoelaces, and I just make them really just a small little bow. And that is it for this little project. I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the next one. Now this next one, I got a wooden snow from got it from the Dollar Tree. As you noticed, I had 2 holes in that piece of wood. It was from my garage, so I just used putty or spackle and I covered those holes. Now I took my white acrylic paint, or actually this is my white chalk paint that I made, and I am covering the whole thing except for the snowflake that's in the center. That was a chore, but I got it done. Now I'm taking my blue paint that I used prior, and I completely covered this. It only needed 1 coat. It took it really well. Okay. I set this aside to let it dry once I get finished with it. Okay, I'm using my heat gun. Now, while I'm going to let that sit and finish drying, I am putting Mod Podge on that snowflake, and then I'm going to let it dry. That's a trick I learned from, I cannot think of her name. I'll have to put it in the description. Okay, so I put the paper on it and I heated it up, and it reactivated the glue, and it stuck to it. So now I'm using my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to go around and cut around the snowflake. Now that was a chore. I will probably never try that again. I will just paint it. So once I get that all done, I go ahead and put Mod Podge over the top of it. Then, once that is done, I grabs the white paint again and a chippy brush, and I just dry brushed the white onto that wood. I didn't want it just plain blue. I wanted it to look like maybe it had frost on it. And I started out light, and I just kept putting it on until I got it like I wanted it. Then I used my E6000 and my hot glue, and I'm struggling with that E6000, boy. That thing gives me fits. I love it, but boy, it gives me fits, beyond fits. Here I am fighting with it. Okay, now I'm going to put E6000 for the long-term bond, and I'm going to use hot glue as well to glue that all to the snow to the board. Okay, now these are some picks from Dollar Tree. I just cut off a bunch of them, and I ended up using the hot glue and gluing them onto the front of the snow. I'm just getting it there, back and forth. And if you can remember, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, give me a big thumbs up and the notification bell. And don't forget, if you don't watch a little bit or more of my videos, then your subscription will get kicked out and then you won't be able to find my channel anymore. So please remember to watch a few minutes. Okay, so here is the bow. I'm going ahead and gluing it on, and then I've got a little white snowflake I'm going to glue on there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really loved doing this projects, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.